Some people leave behind more than memories. They leave a mark on the world. Today on Final Moments, we honor the lives of those who shaped art, culture, and history. If you appreciate these tributes, please like and subscribe. Let's now take a moment to remember them. Number 1. Danny Cox. Danny Cox was more than a musician. He was a voice of resilience, a fighter for justice, and a legend in folk music. From the civil rights marches of Cincinnati to the grand stage of Carnegie Hall, his life was a testament to the power of music as a force for change. Born in Cincinnati, Ohio in 1943, Cox was immersed in music from a young age. Singing alongside Rudolph Isley in church, he developed a powerful vocal presence. But his true breakthrough came in the 1960s when he joined the Hootenanny Folk Tour, standing alongside some of the era's greatest songwriters. Signed to major labels like ABC Dunhill and Casablanca, Cox released a series of folk rock albums that captured the essence of his powerful storytelling. His most notable work, Feels So Good, 1974, remains a defining record of his career, melding folk, blues, and rock with socially conscious lyrics. In 1967, Cox moved to Kansas City, a city that both challenged and embraced him. Turned away from the Muehlebach Hotel due to segregation, he instead found a home across the river where he became a central figure in the city's folk scene. The Vanguard Coffee House and Cowtown Ballroom became his stomping grounds, where he shared stages with Ray Charles and Jefferson's Starship. Tragedy struck in 2008 when a fire destroyed his home and possessions. But the music community rallied behind him, organizing benefit concerts that proved his profound impact. With their support, he rebuilt not just his house, but his legacy. On March 7th, 2025, Danny Cox passed away at the age of 81. His son, Nate, described him as a man who gave every ounce of his energy to his music, his family, and the fight for justice. Number 2, Athol Fugard. Athol Fugard, South Africa's voice of conscience, a playwright, director, and actor whose words held a mirror to the brutal injustices of apartheid. His pen was his weapon, his stage a battleground for truth, and for nearly 7 decades he never relented. Born Harold Athol Lanigan Fugard in 1932 in Middleburg, Cape Province, Fugard grew up in the racially divided Port Elizabeth. His mother ran a boarding house. His father, a disabled jazz pianist, struggled with illness. Perhaps it was here, in this fragile domestic world, that he first learned to see humanity in its most vulnerable form. Before he was a playwright, Fugard was a wanderer. He abandoned university, hitchhiked across Africa, and worked on a steamship bound for the East. But when he returned, South Africa's racial reality would demand his attention. He took a job in a Johannesburg court and saw firsthand the machinery of apartheid grinding people into submission. It changed him forever. Fugard's theater was never just art, it was defiance. His first major work, Blood Knot, 1961, told the story of 2 brothers, one dark-skinned, one light-skinned, navigating the brutal world of racial classification. It was raw, it was dangerous, and it caught the attention of the authorities. His passport was confiscated, his movements restricted, but Fugard was undeterred. He founded the Serpent Players, an ensemble of black actors who performed in barns, townships, wherever they could. Together, they staged Sizwe Bonzi is Dead and The Island, stories of resistance, identity, and survival. The government tried to silence them. They failed. In 2011, he received the Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement, but accolades were never the goal. His work was about justice, about remembering those history tried to erase. Even after apartheid fell, he continued, chronicling a new South Africa still haunted by its past. On March 8th, 2025, Athol Fugard took his final bow, but his words remain, etched into history, whispered in every theater where a story must be told. where injustice must be confronted. Number 3. Lawrence L. Koontz Jr. For nearly 6 decades, Justice Lawrence Larkins Koontz Jr. shaped Virginia's legal landscape. A Roanoke native, he graduated from Virginia Tech and the T.C. Williams School of Law before beginning his legal career in 1965. By 1968, he was appointed to the city's juvenile court, later becoming a judge for the 23rd Circuit Court in 1976. In 1985, he joined the newly created Virginia Court of Appeals, later serving as its second chief judge. He established the court's clerk's office and chief staff attorney's office, shaping its foundation. In 1995, he ascended to the Virginia Supreme Court, serving until 2011 before continuing as a senior justice until 2024. Koontz's rulings often carried lasting significance. In Arlington County v. White, 2000, he upheld the Dillon Rule, restricting local authority from extending benefits to same-sex partners. His dissent in Atkins v. Commonwealth was later cited by the U.S. Supreme Court in its ruling against executing intellectually disabled individuals. A moral and civilized society diminishes itself if its system of justice does not afford recognition and consideration of those limitations. In Porter v. Commonwealth, 2008, he warned that Virginia's death penalty laws could lose constitutional validity if due process was not upheld. On March 16, 2025, at 85, Koontz passed away, leaving a 57-year judicial legacy second only to his mentor, Chief Justice Harry Lee Carrico. He is survived by his wife, children, and grandchildren, while his rulings continue to shape Virginia's courts. Number 4, Burton Tansky. He never designed a dress, never stitched a single seam. Yet Burton Tansky shaped the landscape of luxury fashion more than most designers ever could. For over 5 decades, he stood at the helm of America's most prestigious department stores, curating not just collections, but experiences. Born in Pittsburgh to immigrant parents who found their livelihood in a hair salon at the William Penn Hotel, Tansky understood elegance from the very beginning. He worked odd jobs as a teenager, delivering newspapers, selling shoes at Kaufmann's, absorbing the art of retail from the ground up. His first major role came at Saks Fifth Avenue, where he rose through the ranks to become president. But it was at Neiman Marcus, where he served as CEO, that Tansky left his most indelible mark. Under his leadership, Neiman Marcus transformed into the world's definitive luxury retailer. He expanded the brand from 24 to 41 locations, achieving the industry's highest productivity rates, over $500 per square foot in sales. And in an era where luxury brands hesitated to embrace e-commerce, Tansky saw the future, investing heavily in NeimanMarcus.com when many doubted that high-end fashion could succeed online. He didn't just sell luxury, he understood it. Once, while touring the Neiman Marcus store in Dallas, he spotted a $2,300 Christian Louboutin boot. It zips all the way down to the heel, he noted with admiration. I bet we sell every single one. That was the instinct of a true merchant, a merchant's merchant, as the industry called him. His contributions earned him the Gold Medal Award from the National Retail Federation and the Légion d'honneur from France. Yet for all his accolades, he remained grounded. His mentees, from CEOs to sales associates, recall a leader who demanded excellence, but never at the cost of compassion. Karen Katz, his successor at Neiman Marcus, put it best. He knew there had to be balance. He enabled people to have a personal life. Even in his final years, His passion never faded. He spoke with former colleagues regularly, eager to hear how the industry was evolving, how businesses could grow. Burton Tansky may no longer walk the floors of Neiman Marcus, but his legacy endures in every perfectly curated store, in every associate who learned from him, in every luxury item carefully placed under a spotlight. Not just a businessman, not just a retailer, a visionary of style, service, and what it truly means to bring luxury to life. Number 5, Kilmer McCully. In 1969, a young pathologist at Harvard Medical School published a paper that should have changed cardiovascular medicine. Instead, it buried his career. Kilmer S. McCully proposed a radical idea. Homocysteine, an amino acid, played a critical role in heart disease. The medical establishment, fixated on cholesterol, dismissed him outright. His findings were simple yet groundbreaking. Studying cases of homocystinuria, a rare genetic disorder, he noticed children with the condition suffered from hardened arteries that looked decades older than they should. The culprit? Excess homocysteine, a byproduct of methionine metabolism, which builds up when the body lacks B vitamins like folate, B6, and B12. McCully's hypothesis threatened an industry built on cholesterol-lowering drugs. Harvard, uncomfortable with his challenge to conventional wisdom, first demoted him, literally placing his lab in the basement, then removed him entirely. He spent years unemployed, his reputation in ruins. McCully once said, "People don't believe you. They think you're crazy." But science caught up. Large-scale studies, including the Framingham Heart Study, confirmed elevated homocysteine levels correlated with cardiovascular risk. Researchers at Harvard and Brigham and Women's Hospital found men with high homocysteine levels had triple the risk of heart attacks. McCully, now working for the VA, was vindicated. In 1999, his book brought homocysteine into public discourse. Though major medical bodies remain hesitant, research continues. Some dismiss homocysteine as merely a marker, while others insist it's a modifiable risk factor ignored for too long. Harvard never formally apologized, but in 1999, his peers honored him, inscribing, "To Kim McCully, who saw the truth before the rest of us." Kim McCully died from prostate cancer at his home on Winchester at the age of 91. Number 6, Robert Denham. Robert Denham understood crisis. He didn't just navigate corporate turbulence, he steered companies away from collapse with a combination of legal acumen, strategic foresight, and an unwavering sense of ethics. When Warren Buffett called him in 1991, Salomon Brothers was teetering on the edge. A bid-rigging scandal in the U.S. Treasury market had brought the firm to the brink of insolvency, and regulatory scrutiny threatened criminal charges. Buffett, the firm's largest shareholder, had stepped in as interim chairman, but he needed a legal mind that could stabilize the ship. Denham didn't hesitate. He relocated to New York, advising Buffett to take a direct approach, full transparency, executive accountability, and internal restructuring. The strategy worked. With a $290 million settlement and a corporate overhaul, Salomon Brothers survived. I'm not sure Salomon would have turned out the same way without Bob, Buffett later reflected. Denham remained at the helm of Salomon as chairman and CEO until 1998, orchestrating its $9 billion sale to Travelers Group. He then returned to Munger, Tolles & Olson, where he had built a reputation as a leading mergers and acquisitions attorney. His legal expertise facilitated multi-billion-dollar deals, including Berkshire Hathaway's acquisition of Precision Castparts, Heinz, and Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Beyond corporate boardrooms, Denham's influence extended into philanthropy and governance. As chairman of the MacArthur Foundation, he shaped initiatives in education, environmental policy, and global development. He also served on the boards of the New York Times Company, Chevron, and Oaktree Capital Management, helping institutions navigate shifting economic landscapes. A man of deliberation rather than bombast, Denham's approach was methodical, ethical, and effective. As he once put it, when a good company hits a rock, the task of getting it off the rock is critical. His legacy is one of precision, pragmatism, and an unshakable commitment to integrity in business and law.